Fabrizio Romano shares a bombshell about Arsenal's interest in the star player who Messi has described as extraordinary. And in the midst of this silent war behind the scenes, Wright has just issued a warning that has shaken the fans. This needs to happen now. Stay until the end, because the next information could change everything you expect from the next season. Another big day for Arsenal, and if you carry this club in your heart like we do, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every victory, every signing, every heartbreak, we live it all together. Let's jump into today's news. Arsenal are about to enter one of the biggest transfer markets in the world, and their target is simply a world champion, Julian Alvarez, the name that no one expected, but that could be the difference in the next season. And now I ask you, can you imagine this star wearing an Arsenal shirt leading the attack instead of just being a shadow of Haaland? Yes, because that's what he experienced at City, always on the bench, always waiting. But even so, when he entered, he decided. And now, according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are keeping an eye on him. And he's not alone. Liverpool have also entered the race. But there is one detail that changes everything. Atletico de Madrid does not want to release the player. Romano was direct. There is interest from the Premier League, it's true, but Atletico insist on keeping Julian Alvarez. The question that remains in the air is, will Arsenal take a risk and try to convince Atletico, or will they back down and watch this talent slip away once again? Because look at that, this is not just any name. We are talking about a striker who has 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, and of course, the World Cup. And yet, he still hasn't had the chance to be the protagonist. Now imagine this scenario with me. Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Alvarez in the center with total freedom to shine. Could they be the most explosive trio in the Premier League? It's a golden opportunity, and one that honestly may never come again. Oh, and do you want to know where all this confidence comes from? Lionel Messi. Yes, Messi himself. He said the following about Julian after the 3-0 victory against Croatia in the World Cup. Julian was the star today. He played an extraordinary match. He opened the game, found the spaces. He deserved to be the best on the pitch. And if Messi said it, who are we to doubt it? But what will Arsenal do now? Because the club has already lost some important names in recent markets. And if you want to fight for the Premier League and the Champions League, you need to take this bold step. The clock is ticking, and Atletico de Madrid won't wait long. The question is, will Andrea Berta act now? Or will Arsenal see Liverpool take the lead once again? Mendy. Is Wright's order being complied with? Arsenal is on the move. After a season that ended in frustration and emptiness, with another year without titles and a 10-point gap to the champion, the pressure increased at all levels of the club. The time of promise is over. Now is the time for action. And one thing is clear to Mikel Arteta. Without solid reinforcements, there is no way to compete with the giants of Europe. It is in this scenario of urgency and demand that a name emerges that could represent a turning point. Martin Zubimendi. It's not just any player. We are talking about a steering wheel that plays with the mind of a conductor and the precision of a surgeon. He anticipates plays, protects the defense, distributes with elegance, and above all, dominates the midfield with authority. Wright, the club's idol, had already made it clear months ago, Arsenal needs Zubimendi. This has to happen. If he doesn't come, it's a sign that the club doesn't want to return to the top. And now, everything indicates that it will happen. According to respected Spanish newspaper AS, Zubimendi has already signed a contract with Arsenal. What's more, he has medical exams scheduled for the next few hours. The club will pay the €60 million release clause, around £50 million, and make it clear that it is willing to invest heavily in the area that needs reinforcement the most, the midfield. But perhaps the most surprising thing isn't the value of the deal, and yes, who Arsenal managed to overcome. Real Madrid tried to get through the negotiation. With the arrival of Xabi Alonso as coach, the Merengues saw Zubimendi as the ideal replacement for the veterans in the squad. They tried to seduce the player, but they arrived late. Andrea Berta, Arsenal's new director of football, had already done the behind-the-scenes work. Advanced negotiation, clause ready to be activated, and a project of absolute ownership to convince the player. Zubimendi prefers Arsenal, and that in itself says a lot. Arsenal beat Real Madrid off the pitch, and that sends a powerful message to the dressing room, to the fans, and to the rivals. The club is not messing around this window. Zubimendi is more than just a signing. It is a symbol of change, a piece that can bring balance to a team that has been suffering in big games due to a lack of control and leadership in the midfield. But make no mistake, this is just the first step. Arteta still wants a number 9, a real goal scorer, someone who can resolve tight games. And the names on the agenda are big. Benjamin Šeško, RB Leipzig's young sensation with a £67 million release clause. Victor Gyökeres, Sporting striker with impressive numbers this season. The competition is fierce, and Arsenal need to act quickly to avoid repeating past mistakes. But let's take it easy, because before talking about the attackers, there is still a golden opportunity knocking on Emirates' door. An unlikely bargain, a name that no one expected to see in this context. And if Arsenal don't act soon, it could be lost forever. We'll talk about this next. Now hold on tight, because what you're about to hear sounds like fiction, but it's real. Arsenal are faced with a market opportunity that rarely comes along, a unique chance. A real blatant bargain. We are talking about Marcus Rashford for just £40 million. Yes, you heard that right. £40 million for an elite English striker with years of Premier League experience behind him, experience in the Champions League, World Cup, and still with age to improve. And the question that needs to be asked is simple and urgent. How is it possible for a player of that caliber to be available for that amount? And Arsenal still haven't closed a deal? The answer lies in an almost hidden detail. Rashford has been loaned to Aston Villa, but the loan agreement does not provide for exclusivity in the purchase. In other words, Villa has preference, but any club can cover the £40 million, inclusive of Arsenal. Now, of course, many will ask, but isn't Rashford in a bad phase? What happened to him? Be careful with this narrative, because since arriving at Aston Villa, Rashford has rediscovered football. Under Unai Emery's management, the player reconnected with his best self. Explosion, confidence, and direct impact on games. The numbers don't lie. 4 goals and 6 assists in just 17 games. Direct participation in goals every 98 minutes. Best average since the 2020-21 season, and there's more. If there is a coach who knows how to recover discredited players, it is Mikel Arteta. Remember what happened to Kai Havertz? Completely discarded at Chelsea, discredited by the fans. Today, a key player in Arsenal's scheme, goal in a classic, assist in a big game, and respect regained. Now imagine the same story, only with Rashford, a player with explosiveness, a hunger to prove his worth, and the Premier League in his DNA, an affordable cost, and most importantly, a potential still untapped in Arteta's system. Compare that to other names being bandied about for the attack. Benjamin Šeško, for example, has a £67 million release clause. Victor Gyökeres, similar value. And there is still fierce competition from clubs like Chelsea and Atletico de Madrid. And here comes the question that no one at Emirates can ignore. Does it make sense to let go of Rashford for that price, knowing that he could become one of the protagonists of the season? Furthermore, signing Rashford for £40 million would still leave room in the budget to bring in another reinforcement, be it a number 9, a center back, or even a new winger. But there is a problem. Time is against Arsenal. Andrea Berta needs to act now, because if it takes too long, Aston Villa will close the deal. They already have the player in their hands, and the board is pleased with his performance. If Arsenal want Rashford, they need to move now. Otherwise, this will be another one of those almost stories that fans are tired of hearing. And worse, you can see the player shine for a direct rival, but that's not even the biggest twist of this window, because while everyone focuses on the obvious names, Arteta could be about to pull the trigger on a secret signing, which no one is seeing it coming. And believe me, if this is confirmed, it will turn the market upside down and change everything that was imagined about Arsenal for the next season. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!